Good night, everybody. Can everyone hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, great. So welcome everyone to another night of Bible study, Bahamas Christian Outreach Ministries, where Frankie Camille is the senior pastor, serving along with his wife, Janika Camille. And we are very much excited that each and every one of you are here. So at this time, I just want you to just wave, use your virtual hands, just raise your hands. Chat, put something in the group so that I know you're here. Good night. Put your name in the group so I know that you're here with us tonight. All right, Janika's here. Lenika's here. Welcome, Lenika. It's good to see you. Good night. Yes. Okay. Let us begin in a word of prayer. Let's begin the word of prayer. Father God, we thank you. We thank you for another night. We thank you for your grace and for your mercies. I pray that this teaching will be a blessing to those that hear it, that they will learn from it, and that your kingdom will advance as a result of it. We pray, Father God, that you will continue to keep and bless each and every one, including the members of our church, followers, associates, co-workers, friends, family. Now, Father God, be with us tonight as we study your word. Okay, we're going to get straight into it. So last week, we looked at curses, generational curses. We went through a series of ways in which we can identify whether or not we are under a curse. Okay, so tonight we're going to focus on one area. We're going to focus on tonight. Hey Rosie, good to see you. And who else is here with us? Okay, Rosie, Lenika. Okay, so I guess we'll have some more persons coming in later on this evening. Okay, and so today we're going to focus on something that is very, very, very important, very crucial, very, very crucial to our existence. Okay, so we're going to look at symptoms of a curse, but we're going to focus on one particular area. This is important. This is very, very important because it impacts every one of us in the world, actually. Okay, so many of the problems that some of us face, believe it or not, some of them are results of curses that we are not aware of. Curse that is in operation. It may be because of something that you did, as well as it may be because of something someone else did. Okay, and we established the fact that you are not exempted from your bloodline. The blood is one. Okay, you are not exempted from it, which means that the sins of your parents, your grandparents, your great-grandparents, your great-great-great-great-great-great-grandparents may have an impact on you today. Let me say it again. The sins of your parents, your grandparents, your great-grandparents, your great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-grandparents, going all the way back to Eve, Adam and Eve, those of us who are human beings, and I think that all of us here are human beings, it means then that whatever happened in the past, it impacts your future. Say it again. Your past have some kind of impact on your future. The past of your parents have an impact on your future. And so one of the areas that we're going to be looking at today is we're going to be looking at chronic financial problems. Okay, money. Okay, the Bible says money answereth all things. It also says the love of money is the root to all evil. But nevertheless, we need money in order to function in this life. Okay, we need money in order to function. If you go to the food store and you don't have any money, more than likely, unless you know someone in the food store, unless you steal something from the food store, you won't have access to the goods and services of that particular store. Okay? If your car is running and you don't put gas in it, and you don't stop at the gas station and put gas in it, and of course, in order to stop at the gas station and put gas in it, you need money. So if you don't have money to put gas in the car that you drive, the car itself is not going to go anywhere without that gas. Okay? And so money plays a very important role in our lives. It is so important that scripture warns us not to love it. It never said not to use it. It never said, God never said, okay, I want you to be broke. I would love for you just to be broke. Okay? No. That is not his will for our lives. Okay? That is not what he desires for us. He does not desire for you to be broke, busted, and disgusted. Okay? And so what he says is, yes, you can accumulate wealth, you can use money, but don't love it, because the love of it will cause you to do some terrible and crazy things. Okay? The love of money can be traced to basically all of the sins that are committed in the world today, because money represents power. Okay? Those that have money are powerful, okay? Because they can pay themselves out of trouble. They can pay themselves out of basically almost anything, okay? They can also afford legal representation. So money itself, what it does is it opens doors that you would be unable to open without it. You need money. We need money. Okay? And so today, we're going to focus on chronic financial problems. Have you ever been to, let's say you have a co-worker, and every day you come to work, you bring your lunch, you bring your KFC, you bring your bamboo shack, you bring the food that you burn up the night before, you bring that food, you bring that sandwich, you bring that hot dog sandwich, you bring that the peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and every day it seems as if this person never have no food. And they always begging you and asking you to share your lunch with them. Okay? So have you ever been in a situation where you see someone, or you might be the person, you might be guilty of it. Every time you come to work, you don't have no food to eat. You don't have no money. I had a co-worker of mine. He never have money. Okay? Young guy, younger than me, living at home. Okay? But he always begging. Grown man, I know. He always begging for money. He used to work in one area of the force. It got so bad that they had to remove him from that area because they were afraid that he would have fall into temptation because of the area where he worked in. And they put him in another area. Okay? So when you find yourself in a situation where you never have no money, let me say it again, you're always broke. Okay? That's the song I used to listen to. It's a very I use the word ghetto song. And there's a line that always that stayed with me. Let me see if I can remember it. It says, I ain't saying she's a gold digger, but she ain't messing with no broke nigga. Yeah, so that's it, right? And I always thought about that song. I ain't saying she's a gold digger, but she ain't messing with no broke. Oh, okay. Always, that song just stuck to me. And I used to sing that song out of the blue. But it speaks to the fact that a woman, okay, for the most part, does not want to be with a man with no money. Okay? In essence, a female, or most female, don't want to be with or around a broke male. Okay? So when you find yourself month after month after month, paycheck by paycheck by paycheck, you never have no money, that is a sign that a curse is in operation in your life or in your finances. Let me say it again. When you find yourself or you see people never have anything, they always, some people call them cheap. Oh, they're so cheap. But it seems as if they never have, they're always begging. That's an indication that there is a curse in operation. Okay, so we call it chronic financial problems. Chronic. Okay, it means it's not going anywhere. It's chronic. It's there, and you can feel the symptoms of it, but it seems as if there's nothing you can do about it. Okay, So chronic financial problems. So we're looking at the symptoms now. These are the symptoms. Those of you who work in the medical field, you understand what symptoms are. When you go to the doctor, you simply describe the symptoms that you are feeling, and based on the symptoms that you are feeling, the doctor will diagnose you with whatever disease he believes that you are struggling with, like COVID-19 has its symptoms. Okay, so the symptoms of a financial curse, all right, is chronic financial problems, which includes what? A history of debt. You owe Commonwealth Bank, you owe Scotia Bank, you owe Tommy $5, you owe Jane $5, you borrow $300 from your mommy, then you borrow $500 from your baby daddy, then you borrow another $200 from your boyfriend, and then you borrow another $300 from your fiance, and then you borrow another $5 from your brother, and it seems as if you always in debt. Bankruptcy refers to you're unable to pay your bills. Okay, those persons who are unable to pay their bills, they file for what you call bankruptcy. Okay, you're insolvent, you're unable to pay your bills. So you cannot pay your BEC bill, you can't pay the light bill, you can't pay the water bill, you can't pay the food bill. And this is consistently, this ain't like 1 month, this always, this you all of the time. When you see those symptoms, it means that there is a curse in operation in your life. Okay, where there's poverty. Okay, poverty means you don't have nothing, your family don't have nothing, there's a lack in the family. Okay, you grow up poor, don't have nowhere to live, you can't afford the basic essentials of life. Okay, that means there is a curse, a chronic financial curse that is in operation in your life. Okay, so another thing is, no matter what a person does, he or she seems not to be able. Okay, not to be able, should be not to be able. All right, not to be able to get ahead financially. So it means you work overtime, you work overtime Monday, you work overtime Tuesday, you work overtime Wednesday, you work overtime Thursday, you work overtime Friday, you work overtime Saturday, and you work overtime Sunday. By the time you get paid, you still don't have no extra money leave, although you work all those overtimes. What does that mean? It means that there is a curse in operation. It simply means that it don't matter how many overtimes you work, you're not going to break it unless you're able to identify it and deal with it for what it is. Okay? So the person is unable to keep a job. Person is unable to keep a job, experience layoffs, or has an inability to find work, especially when there is no logical explanation for it. Okay, so we're looking at curses. We're still on curses for those of you just tuning in. Okay, and we're focusing on one particular area. It's just a huge area that impacts a lot of people, including Christians, chronic financial problems. Okay, chronic financial problems. All right, so you have, someone, or you may be experiencing this. You are unable to keep a job. Every job you get fired. You get a job at a gas station, you get mad, okay, and you curse the manager out, and you're gone. Okay, then you go and get another job. Somebody make you mad, so you slap them, and then you walk out the job. Okay, or something else happened, fired. So the inability to find work, the inability to find work, the inability to get a job, and there is no logical explanation for it. You're highly qualified, you have the experience, you call around, the interview went well, everything was going on good, and then bam, nothing happened. Okay? And when you see things that is happening in your life, or it may not be in your life, it may be in the life of someone else. Because now, okay, financial problems don't just affect you. For example, if you, those of you who are not married yet, and of those of you who are married, if you have a spouse or a fiance, okay, who cannot manage money, who have a money problem, a gambling problem, and you connect yourself to that individual, it means then that you are going to suffer along with them if they are under a financial curse. Okay? All right. So if you are making $2,000 a month and your husband is making $2,000 a month, but he takes his money and he gambles and he spends it on other things and he wastes it month after month after month, it simply means that you now have to bear the burden of trying to take care of the family, pay the mortgage, and do all of these things while still trying to hold down the household. Okay? The number one reason for divorce, believe it or not, is financial problems, financial issues. That is the number one reason for divorce. Okay? And so when you connect yourself to people, you have to bear in mind, what's the history of this individual? What's the history of the family? What is the history of this person? How does he or she manages their finances? Because if they do not know how to, or if they don't understand that they may be under a curse, that curse is going to affect your household. It's going to affect you. Okay? So chronic financial problems, these are symptoms that a curse is in operation either in your life or in the life of your family or in the life of your spouse or in the life of someone that you may know. Okay? Okay, so no matter what a person does, he or she seems not to get ahead financially. You've done all you can, you went back to school, you study, you would work extra hours, and it seems as if nothing that you do is good enough for you to get ahead. You're always behind, you always have loans, you always have bills, you're constantly struggling and struggling and struggling and struggling. That is not the will of God for your life. That is not the will of God for our lives. Okay, and when you see things that are happening in your life or in the life of someone else, it may be a result of a supernatural force that is stopping, that is blocking, that is hindering the blessings and the move of God in your life. Okay, the person is unable to keep a job, you experience layoffs or inability to find work. Okay, especially when there is no logical explanation for it, then you know that a curse, more than likely a financial curse, is in operation in your life. Okay, so there are many people who struggle financially not because they, not because of anything that they may have done, but because a curse was initiated and it followed the next person in the bloodline. Okay, so when you never seem to be able to escape unexpected bills, you pay this bill, another bill comes. You pay this bill, another bill comes. Bam, you get in an accident, okay, which costs additional bills. You lose money. You just had $5, You lose money, you don't know where it gone. So it seems as if it just disappeared in thin air. Your car break down, your car always breaking down, mechanical malfunctions. Okay, losing money. You put the money in your purse and you can't find it. You lose the money right in the purse. Okay, loss to theft or high interest rate. All of these are symptoms of something that is not right. Okay, like I say, it is not God's will for us. All right, to be burdened down with loans and bills. Okay, and when you see these things occurring, and you must recognize it for what it is and begin to rebuke it from your life and the life of your children and the life of your bloodline. Okay, if it is a supernatural curse that is in operation, it means that nothing you can do in the natural per se is going to prevent the enemy from sucking your finances. Remember, curses operate by demons operate by rights. They must have some kind of legitimate right to operate in your life or in your bloodline. Otherwise, they cannot operate, but they will still seek to operate in your life. Okay, and when that happens, you have the authority to literally cast them out and they must leave immediately. But if they have the legal grounds to attack your money, to attack your finances, to attack your vehicle, to attack your appliances, to cause people to break into your house, to cause you to lose things, if they have that legal right because of something that happened within your bloodline, it may be a habit you may have, it may be something that you have done in the past that may cause the curse to come in operation. If they have that legal right, then they will not leave. They will fight to the very bitter end. Okay? And so these are symptoms. These are symptoms of a curse. All right? So without money, the Bible says, money answered all things. But it also says, don't love it. Okay? Don't love it. And a lot of people love money so much that they become a slave to it. Let me say it again. A lot of us, we love money so much that we become a slave to it. Okay? Which means that we become attracted to the wrong people because they may have money. We may get in relationship with the wrong persons because we're looking at money. There are many persons who compromise themselves, who compromise their integrity, who compromise their standards, who compromise their worth because of money. Okay, because they find themselves against the wall. But of course, that is not the will of God for our lives. And when you see yourself drifting into a sea of debt, a sea of emptiness, a sea of brokenness, you have no resources to rely upon. When you find yourself in that situation, you should not be comfortable. You should not be relaxed. You should not accept the fact that, hey, okay, this is my current situation. No. Okay. So that's when you seem to get ahead financially, something happens to set you back. Okay. This can be true even if you earn a lot of money. So the perception may be that, hey, the other person is doing more because they earn more money. You can earn a lot of money and still be set back. Okay. You can earn a lot of money and still be in debt. You can earn a lot of money and still be broke. Okay. For some people, there is no logical reason why they should not be further ahead financially. So my question to you tonight is this. Are you financially where you should be? And if you're not, what is the reason? Are you financially ahead? And if you're not financially ahead, what is the reason? What is the reason that you're not able to be financially free or have that freedom? Okay? If you struggle to pay your bills and at the end of the month, you only left with a couple dollars, ask yourself, is this the norm? Is this what God has for me? Is this where I should be? And if it's not where you should be, who is causing or what is causing it to be so? Then I want you to look back and trace your life back. Look through your family history and see, is there a trend going on? Did my mother struggle? Did my grandmother struggle? Were they poor? Did they lack? Were they mean? Were they selfish? What? Look through your bloodline, look through your family, look at your brothers, look at your sisters, and see what are the fruits that are in operation in their lives. Do they have their own homes? Do you have your own home? Do you have what you should have? Or are you where you should be? Or are you just there, just trying to make it? Okay. Logical circumstances or events occur, such as mishandling money, history of welfare in the family, or business failure. Okay, Proverbs 10:15 says the destruction of the poor is their poverty. The destruction of the poor is their poverty. Jesus said some words that I had a huge problem with when I first heard it. And I think I was mad at Jesus for saying it. I was like, how could he say that? Why would he say that? And he said, the poor will be with you always. And I didn't understand what he meant by that. Because as far as I'm concerned, he came to set us free from the spirit of poverty. And so why would you declare that poverty will always be here? Okay? And I believe that he was referring to the systems of this world, because the systems of this world are designed and structured in such a way that the wealthy are advantaged. Okay? It is designed in such a way where people benefit from other person's demise. Okay, people benefit from poverty. Okay, the banks benefit when you go and you borrow a lot of money. They benefit from that. Okay, when you don't have anything. Okay, so illogical circumstances or events occur, such as mishandling money. When you mismanage what God has given you, okay, when you mismanage that, it brings upon or it activates a curse. Everything that you have, it was meant to be managed, okay? So when you buy the car has to be managed, okay? It has to be maintained, is another word. So anything that you have, it is designed to be maintained. It takes a level of maintenance. If you want to look good, you have to spend that money on that Remy, okay? If you want to look good, you have to buy certain clothes. and it takes a certain amount of money to maintain what you have. If you buy clothes, you have to put it in the cleaners in order for it to be maintained properly. If you have children, those children have to be maintained. It means you have to spend money on their education, you have to spend money on their clothes, money on their food. So whatever God has given you, it has to be maintained. And when we mishandle that, then we invite the devils and demons and things to take what we have. Okay? All right, so it's a principle of maintenance. Everything that God has given you must be maintained. When God created Adam and Eve and he placed Adam in the garden, he told Adam, maintain the garden. Okay? Maintain the garden. Okay? So if you don't maintain what God has given you, if you mismanage it and mishandle it, then you give the enemy legal right to take it away from you. Okay, which brings us upon the spirit of destruction and how it works. Okay, the spirit of destruction works through a curse to destroy a person financially. Okay, so spirits of poverty, lack, and debt, they operate through curse. Okay, I said again, the spirits of poverty, lack, and debt, they operate through this curse. So there is power in your money. Wherever you put your money or whoever you give your money to, it will determine your failure or your success. Wherever you sow, the Bible talks about sowing and reaping. Spiritually, money is a spiritual tool designed to help you maintain your life. Okay? So it is a tool by which God uses to maintain us or to help us become maintained or taken care of. All right? So the spirit of destruction. Oftentimes when you think about the spirit of destruction, we're thinking about, oh, you must be in war or something, something else, or no, spirit of destruction. It comes into play, it comes into operation when there is a lack, when there's poverty, when there's debt. It comes and it destroys the thing that we built. Okay. So he's going to do this exercise, but we'll probably do this next time. Financial setbacks. Okay, financial setbacks. What is a setback? A setback means that progress is slowed, it is hindered, or it is delayed. Okay. Haggai 1:6, it says, ye have sown much and bring in little. Ye eat, but ye have not enough. Ye drink, but ye are not filled with drink. Ye clothe you, but there is none warm. And he that earneth wages to put it into a bag with holes. I want you to imagine you taking your money, put it in your pocket has a hole, and it falls out. That is the way God describes financial curses. It's as if you just take your money, put it in your pocket, and it goes. And he says you sow, you work hard, but there's nothing to show for it. You've been working for 5 years, 10 years, you have nothing to show for it. You have no money saved in the bank. You got nothing, nada. Okay, it means a curse is in operation. It says that you drink, but you never fill. You eat, but you're never full. Okay, you have clothes, but you're never warm. Or you're cold. Okay, and so if you find yourself in that particular circumstance or area, you have to ask yourself, what am I doing right and what am I doing wrong? We often say, oh, it's the cost of living going up. The cost of living will continue to go up. That's not going to change. Okay. But our faith is not in the systems of this world. That is not where we put our faith. We put our faith in God. But how can you say that you serve a God that owns the universe, that has everything, but yet the little that he has given you, you don't know how to manage it. You mismanage it. And when you mismanage things, okay, it causes chaos in your life. It causes confusion in your life. It causes sorrow and misery, because one of the worst feelings you can have is not having enough money to take care of yourself or take care of your children. Okay? Okay, so my testimony in financial setback and chronic financial curses. Okay, so I'll give you my testimony real quick. So I graduated from the University of Bahamas with a bachelor's degree in banking and finance, got a scholarship, and I said, okay, I'm going to work in the bank. I'm going to get a nice job, and I'm going to get married, and I'm going to live happily ever after. Well, that did not happen. I went to university. I finished my college degree, and I went to and work in the bank. The Bank of the Bahamas called me. I went in there to work, and I was making good money. Okay, I was making good money in the bank, and I said, okay, now I can finally break free. I thought that the degree was going to save me. I thought that once I had that college degree, that everything that happened in my past with my parents, that I was going to finally have something. Okay, so I grew up living in a wooden house. Okay, in the village, wooden house. Didn't even have electricity. We had outside toilet. Instead of the bed in cold water. Oh, cold. I thank God for the heaters, because I can't take that cold water no more. Okay, so I came from that and I said, okay, the cure for that is I need to get a college degree. That's what I thought. I said, I'm going to get a college degree and I'm going to graduate and I am going to be successful. So I did get the college degree. Went and worked for the bank, in the bank. After 11 months in the bank, 6 months was supposed to be the probationary period. After 11 months, working hard, never made a single mistake, never stole a dollar, was on time, was respectful. The bank simply said, you know, we can't keep you, we're not going to keep you. They claim I still was on probation. They said, we're not going to keep you. Thank you very much. With no warning. I had no warning letter. I had nothing. With no warning, I found myself without a job. Just couldn't explain it. It was just unbelievable. And I remember just standing outside. It was in the night. And I remember just walking out of the building, not having access to anything anymore. And I walked out in the darkness. And I said to myself, God will take care of me. God will take care of me. After that, I went and I tried to get another job. I applied to every bank in this country. I applied to all of the financial places. Nobody wanted to hire me. I had a bachelor's degree in banking and finance with foreign language French, a powerful degree, but nobody wanted to hire me. I was confused. I was baffled. I could not understand what was going on. So I got a job at an accounting firm. After 6 months, fired. Lost my job again. Could not explain it. Could not understand what was going on. Got another job. Finally got a job at a perfume bar downtown. I was in the office, making good money. We was in charge of the stores and I was doing the financial stuff. And after a few weeks, maybe 2-3 months, fired for no reason. Could not explain it. Job after job, interview after interview. I ran the interviews, went well. I ran an interview with another bank and they said, okay, we're gonna hire you, and nothing. Ran an interview with another bank again, fill out the application, passed the test with flying colors, and nothing. Nothing. Found myself living in my sister's apartment. She went off and I had to pay the rent with no money. The landlord came by one day and he said, understand you can't, meet the obligation. So what you can do, I'll take some funds off the rent if you just clean the yard and clean the garbage area. I said, okay, I'll do it. Never mind, now I have a whole bachelor's degree. A whole bachelor's degree in banking and finance. Big man like me cleaning yard and cleaning garbage. And I said, I could not understand what was going on. I said, I did everything right, but everything went wrong. And so that happened for years, 23, 24, 25, 26, 7, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, about 4 years. 4 years. Until finally I applied to everywhere. And the police force called me. So I questioned God why I had to go through that. What was going on? I discovered that I was under a financial curse. It meant that no matter what I do or how hard I work or how many degrees I got, until that curse is broken or was broken from my life, I wasn't going to be able to get ahead. When I understood that, I prayed. My prayer life became different. I prayed and I said, I come against every hindering spirit, everything that is stopping me, everything that is blocking me. And I saw God move the curse out of my life. And I saw the blessings of God come in. So financial curses are real. If you can recognize them, if you can recognize the symptoms, then you know how to deal with them. Okay? Then housing issues has also come under financial curses. Problems with the house, foreclosure, cruel and unfair landlords, you got fires, floods, you're always getting evicted, wandering, okay, vagabond, lights, gas, telephone shut off. When you see these things occurring in your life, okay, and you find yourself victims of these things, more than likely there is some kind of curse that is in operation. Okay, there's something stopping you. There's a demon assigned to your finances, assigned to your household, assigned to cause destruction, assigned to destroy your finances, assigned to stop you from being able to pay your bills and be free. Housing issues. Okay. The Bible says that when God recommended that Satan would consider Job, Satan replied to God, and he said this. He said, you placed a hedge of protection around him. I can't touch him. Okay. I can't touch him. So it simply means then that when the enemy is affecting you, two things. One, God allow it so that you can grow spiritually, so that you can overcome, and so that he can supernaturally bless you. Or two, you're under a curse. Okay, the hedge is gone. There's no protection. Okay. And so as you go about your life, always pray that God, put a hedge of protection over my household, put a hedge of protection over my finances, put a hedge of protection over my car, my vehicle, over my appliances in the household. Put a hedge of protection over me. Okay, we continue with housing issues, plumbing problems, heating problems, burglarized, house being vandalized, roof issues, housing repair problems that drain your finances. All right. So whenever you see these chronic things happening, begin to pray and rebuke the spirit of destruction, the spirit of poverty, the spirit of lack. Okay. I remember when I first got married, we moved to an apartment in St. Vincent. First time we moved in there, nothing happened. Everything was working, it was fine. Then the plumbing just started going off. The plumbing was terrible. I'm like, what in the world going on? I remember sometimes I used to see cockroach coming out of the tub. And I said, God, what is this? The plumbing was terrible. Okay, which means then that there was a curse that was in operation in the household to cause confusion, to cause financial problems, to cause disruption. Okay, remember too, people can send curses after you. Understand that not everyone you call friend and not everyone that you see are good people. There are people that will sin, that will speak things over your life, that will speak curses on your marriage, that will speak curses upon you. I mean, when you see these things, you have to be able to recognize it and pray against it. Okay? Your workplace. Symptoms of curses related to your workplace. You're being laid off, you're always getting right up. Okay? Your company closed, you get fired for no reason, you're missing days because you're always sick. Okay? You're always getting some type of accident on the job, you're always falling down, bucking your head. Okay? You're being treated terribly by by your bosses or fellow employees. You're being harassed on your job. All right, you're going from job to job. You can't keep a job. All of these are symptoms that something is wrong, that there's a curse in operation at your workplace. And so even as you go to work, you have to cover yourself. You have to cover your mind. You have to cover your soul. And you have to ensure that you don't fall victim to any of the curses that may be in operation, even in your workplace. Because there are devils and demons in the workplace that can cause you to be sick, that can cause you to have accidents, that can cause you to be oppressed and depressed. Okay? So ensure that when you go to work, you have to cover yourself, you have to cover your mind. There are witches that are assigned to your job to cause and to spread curses and to say certain things and to speak certain things. And be careful what your boss or your co-workers say about you or say to you. You have to begin to rebuke things. If they start calling you certain names and saying and speaking things over your life that's not aligned with the will of God, you have to rebuke it. You have to renounce it. Otherwise, it will begin to manifest in your life and you won't understand what is going on. Okay, also workplace, you can't hold down a job, you can't find a job, or you just miss a job. Okay, a day late and a dollar short. You all know that expression. Or you're in the wrong place at the wrong time. All of these are symptoms. I know I'm going through them quickly, but we soon out of time. All of these are symptoms that you have to look out for and recognize that there is a curse in operation. Okay? This is the result of financial curses. You get frustrated. I remember when I could not pay no bill. I couldn't pay nothing. I remember I was frustrated, discouragement, just feel discouraged. You're sad, you're sorrowful, you're depressed, despair, despondency. You're full of anger. You're angry, you're bitter. You want to get that 5-piece chicken, but you only can afford a 2-piece chicken, so you're mad. Okay, you're mad. You feel like eating Chinese, but you can't afford it. You're mad. Okay, you're sad, you're sorrowful, you're depressed. Okay, these are the results of being under financial curses. You're working, you're slaving, and you never have. Of course, that is not God's will for our lives. So, how do you break financial curses? One of the things that you can do is you sow into fruitful grounds. Okay, you're paying your tithes and your offering unto God. Okay, that will assist in breaking the curses in your life. When you offer a sacrifice to God, okay, when you offer a sacrifice to God, that helps to break the curses. Some things we have to stop doing. Sometimes we self-inflict ourselves with curses, playing numbers. Okay, you borrow too much. Credit card. You're paying for something that you cannot afford with 18% interest. That's not wise. Okay, how can you ever expect to be free when you have this credit debt, this debt card? It's not credit, it's a debt card. It keeps you in debt. That's what it's designed to do. They call it credit, but it's a debt card. Okay, so you don't pay your bills on time, so you incur late fees. Okay, yeah, so pay your bills on time. That will save you from having to incur late fees, or pay your credit cards on time. Okay, those are things that you can do to help break the curses that are in operation. How do I break financial curse? You fast, and then you fast some more after that. Okay, and of course you pray. Prayer and fasting are the two essential components of breaking any curse in your life. Okay, if you want the curses to begin to manifest, if you want the demons to begin to manifest in your life, in your job, anywhere, if you want to find out what the root issue is, you go on a fast. I ain't talking about no 1, 2 day fast. I talking about a fast. Okay? I talking about a long fast, 3 days minimum, fruits and vegetables, or no food at all. It will open your spiritual eyes to what is happening around you and in your life. And you will literally be able to feel and see the enemy as it attach itself from you. Many of us cannot see, and we don't know what is happening because we too full. We're too full of food. Okay, our bellies are too full. So our spiritual life is dead. We have no spiritual life because we're too busy feeding our physical bodies. When you resist the urge to eat and says, I'm going to put my plate aside, it is saying God then looks at you and say, hold on now, you look like this person's serious. Fasting is what gets God attention. You can pray all you want. Pray until thy kingdom come. And nothing will change. You'll still be poor and broke and busted. But when you begin to fast and pray, because fasting is a form of prayer, it is saying to God, I need you to move. I need you to operate in my life. And this is what I am going to do until you move the mountain. So you have to fast and you have to pray in order to break some curses. Jesus himself says, when they were trying to cast out the demon out of the boy and they could not do it, they said, get out. They said all kinds of things, get out, get out, get out. And nothing happened. And Jesus said, well, guess what? These kinds of demons or devils, they only come out through prayer and fasting. You have to fast. Okay, no, we don't preach this no more. We don't talk about fasting no more in the church. Nobody even fasts in the church anymore. The most time we fast is in January, and we call it a day. And then we expect God to do the supernatural. No, it's not going to happen. You have to concentrate yourself. Go on a fast and pray so that God can move what he has to move from your life. Aside from fasting and prayer, invest in yourself, start a business, educate yourself, connect yourself with financially stable people. If you broke, why are you hanging with other broke people? Okay, watch your spending habits. You don't have to spend everything that you have. Next thing is you work and work and work. Don't be lazy, don't be slothful. Okay? Lastly, use your gift. Use your gift. The Bible says your gift will make room for you. Okay? Your gift will make room for you. When my degree failed me, God gave me one gift. Yeah, he gave me a couple. But one of the gifts that he gave me was my ability to play the piano. Okay? And so when my degree failed me, I was out playing. I played my fingers off. And that helped me and it maintained me and it kept me. God will always put something inside of you to help you survive when the enemy attacks you. Let me say it again. There is always something inside of you or someone that is connected to you that God has assigned and enabled to help you achieve whatever it is you want to achieve. Let me say it again. God has already placed in you that gift, that ability, that business is already in you. But most of us are so comfortable going to work every day that we do not start the business. Okay, we're so comfortable on a man job that we refuse to use our gifts to make our lives better. Find out what your gift is and use it. Use that gift. You say, man, Pastor Camille, I ain't got no gift. I ain't got no gift at all. What you talking about? I ain't got no gift. Every one of us have a gift. And if you think you don't have a gift, you have a mind, which means then you have to pray to God and say, God, give me an idea. Give me a business idea. Give me a plan. Show me what I can do, not only to bring wealth to myself, but to my entire generation. Wealth is not for self. Wealth is designed to preserve a generation. And so if you die and you did not leave anything for your children, then you would have failed your purpose on this earth. Why would you want your children to suffer when you die? No. Okay, wealth is a generational thing. It is meant for generation. Okay, God expects that you leave an inheritance for your children, for your grandchildren. So you have to be so blessed that even your grandchildren and great-grandchildren can benefit from the work that you have done while you were on earth, so that the curses that would seek to destroy them will not be able to destroy them. I want my seed, I want my children, I want my daughter, I want her to have more than me. I working for her. I want to leave something for her. I don't want her to be oppressed in someone's job. I want her to have the freedom to live her life free from oppression. And that is why we go to work. That is why it is important that you do not continue to find yourself in debt, because it won't only affect you, it's going to affect your generation. So with that, I thank you, each and every one of you, for listening to me for so long. Thank you, thank you, thank you for joining us in this Bible study. I'm going to open up the floor for anyone who may have any questions. And then we're going to go home, and some of y'all are going to eat your soup. Those of you fasting, y'all will eat your soup. Those of you not fasting, y'all can eat whatever y'all want to eat. Okay. So at this time, if you have any questions, you can unmute your mic or raise your hand, and I will see how best I can answer them. Okay, not all at once now. No questions? Okay. No one have any questions? I can give you all 30 more seconds. Anybody? Okay, thank you. Thank you, each and every one of you who are here. I appreciate again your support. I trust that you learned something from this teaching. It's a lot of information, but I believe it is vital. It is vital for us, because of course money answers all things, and so without it, life, if you don't have sufficient to meet your obligations, in life becomes burdensome. But I believe it is God's will that we be well taken care of and all of our needs are met. Of course, God says he will meet all of our needs according to his riches and glory Okay. So there'll be no more questions. We will end right here. I don't know, did Nico want to say something before we go? Can't hear you if you're talking. Okay, nothing? Okay, thank you very much, everyone. We meet again next week at 7:30 for another study. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Good night, and God bless each and every one of you. I will see you all next week, same time, 7:30.